Okay, I'm in the mood of making controversial statements. So I'm going to tell you why independent sound mixers sometimes can be better than A-list sound mixers from big Hollywood movies or big studio movies, award winnings and so on. This is the reason. Bear with me. Okay, of course I'm gonna defend my own class. Okay, I've been a sound engineer for 15 years approx, and I can tell you in my experience, most of the times I'm hired to do something is because the film production needs to fix something. They mess up or they record production sound in less than ideal conditions. The sound is not very good, and they need someone to fix it. So that's where people like me come in the game. We fix poorly done recordings. Now let's make a comparison with Hollywood big studios. What do? They work with beautifully recorded audio. Those big productions can afford to have proper crews and can afford to have proper technology and proper time and so on to record proper sound. I love the word proper. Yes. So the set of skills they develop is slightly different than the set of skills an independent sound mixer develops. Why? Because since they are working with good recordings, they don't have to do a lot of the stuff that independent editors have to deal with, namely fixing bad audio. So they can take a good recording and bring it up to theatrical standards, and that's beautiful. But they not necessarily have the experience to deal with bad recordings and make them sound good enough for at least for film festivals or for streaming distribution. So as an independent sound engineer, the dialogue editor, mixer, typically independent in the independent film world is one person doing everything. I have done entire feature films from pre-production all the way up to master deliverables. So pre-production, production, recording every day on set, post-production sound, dialogue editing, sound effects, sound design, Foley recording, everything. I can do everything here in my studio. This is designed to do surround mixes. And the difference with big studios is that they have a team of people doing each of those things separately. Obviously, the results are way more professional, way higher, the standards are much higher than independent productions. But they also do not develop the skill of having one person overlooking the entire soundtrack of a movie. So if you are independent production, this is my advice. Don't try to go for the for the best or for the studio, for the mixers with the most impressive experience in terms of credit or having worked with big companies, because they don't necessarily are prepared to handle independent productions. They can handle very well big productions, but if you give them poor recordings, you know what they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you have to ADR the entire thing, which is replace the voices if they haven't been recorded properly. Of course, nowadays, 2020, there is very good noise reduction technology that can get a lot of work that was impossible just a few years ago. So take my advice with a grain of salt. But my controversial statement that you shouldn't aim for the higher or for the most impressive credited people in the industry to do your independent film stands because, as I said before, we develop over time a very different set of skills. It's not the same to spend 15 years only doing Foley or only doing dialogue editing or only doing surround mixing or stereo mixing or only doing whatever it is, as opposed to spending all those 15 years doing every other thing in the sound department, from pre-production all the way to production and post-production. That is my advice. I don't want to repeat myself, and this video is long enough for it, so I'll see you next time. Bye.